Okay, maybe you're like me and you have done a completely 180 on your life lately and you're looking for more balance. You're looking for more stability in your life, in your personal life, or you just want to make things better. Um, there's things that need to happen in your personal life so that your professional life can grow and that things can, change and growth can come from it. And basically, what I'm saying is, like, people say that if you bring good energy out into the world, like, the good energy will come back. And I firmly believe that in regards to my own personal life and the things that I'm doing to better myself, to keep myself healthy, and to keep myself as mentally stable and balanced as possible. So, in the past couple months, I've really, for the first time in my life, have been very conscious of what I'm doing to make things better for myself in my life. And what am I doing every single day, big or small, to be there for myself, to set myself up for success. And I really feel like the past couple months already, and by say couple, I mean probably 6 months that I've been doing this, I really see a really big difference in myself. And so the 5 habits that I have been doing today are working out consistently, writing in my journals, having a chores routine, which sounds kind of ridiculous, having a morning routine and a bedtime routine, which is very obvious, but very important. And the last one is kind of like very simple, but it's something that I know you'll understand, which is making your bed every single day. And we'll get into that more in depth. But so I guess we can get into it. All right, so habit number 1 is working out consistently, which, as you can imagine, is pretty self-explanatory. But really, this is so important because all of the stress and all of the anxiety that I have when I work out, like, it all just goes away. Everything is so much better. And I have a moment, at least an hour in my day, that I force myself to not think about everything else, right? Like, I take a class. Oh my God, my arm is so itchy, sorry. I take a class and I have to force myself to listen to the teacher and listen to everything that they're saying. And for that 1 hour every single day, I'm doing something for myself and I'm getting in a workout and I'm feeling really good. And so lately I've been implementing Pilates, which is a love-hate relationship. And I say that because I love Pilates so much. It's low impact, but it's still really, really intense. And I feel like it's working all of those muscles that I don't normally do because I had a kid. And all of those like little tiny muscles in my body that I don't normally or would normally work out are kind of getting worked on. And I've been doing it now 6 months, 3 times a week consistently without stopping. And it's been pretty great. The only thing is, of course, I haven't lost weight from it. And if weight loss for you is really important, Pilates is probably not the best thing that you could do. And so everyone's goals are different, of course. Like what you want out of a workout, whether it's to relax, whether it's to get a good sweat, whether it's to work on your cardiac health, whether it really is just to lose weight. But to be completely transparent, it's to lose weight. I have a bunch of post-baby weight that I've lost some of it, but definitely not where I would like to be. And Pilates is so great because it's been helping a lot with my back pain. I have issues with my sciatica nerve, like things like that. But really the weight loss part, it's not the best for that. So what I've also done is I also go to the gym. So I go to the gym about 2-3 times a week is a lot. But let's say 2 times a week consistently I go to the gym, and that's where I try to do my cardio. And that really, I either do a full hour of cardio if I'm not going to Pilates that day, or if I happen to get it done on a day that I am doing Pilates, I do more of like a 20 to 30 minute like running session, because honestly the cardio that I'm missing from Pilates, I'm getting there, and it's really been complementing super well. I love it. And just doing that for myself, and and I don't even do it every day, but like doing it for myself, let's say 5 times a week, has really changed my like mental stability, because it's something that I have to look forward to. It's something that really relaxes me. And to the note of like working out consistently, I got a bike last year, and getting a bike in Paris has really changed everything for me. I don't take public transportation anymore, and I really just ride my bike everywhere in the city. And if I can tell you how much that has changed my life, I mean, one, I get everywhere much faster. I don't have to deal with the public transportation system. And if you do or you don't know, in Paris, they have a lot of strikes, public transportation strikes. So like a lot of times, you know, the subways are not working. I can't imagine the stress of like relying on public transportation to having to get you to work and everywhere. That's been really stressful over the past year for people that I know. And me, honestly, getting a bike and be able to just go anywhere and say like, all right, in 20 minutes, 30 minutes tops, because of my bike being super reliable, I know that I can get there. And it's just like so relaxing. I mean, now those 20 minutes is really like kind of like meditation for me, because I ride my bike and I see the city in a new light. I see the city from a different point of view, a different perspective. It's really kind of like revived, honestly, my love for Paris, if you will, because I see it now. I'm not like literally in a subway where I don't see the city. Like I really see it from outside, in the breeze, all of that. So Pilates, gym, riding my bike everywhere has been great. Tip number 2 on better habits that I've been creating for myself is writing in my journals. A girlfriend of mine, she gifted me a few journals, and this was around the same time where I was considering kind of like getting a journal, getting back into it. And her giving me a few really kind of reminded me like, okay, this is something that I should do. I will say though, it doesn't really count as writing in my journals, but I use an app called Notion that I'm obsessed with, and it really helps organize everything into my life, which I guess I'm gonna group into this like segment of the video, which is writing in my journals. It has to do with like thought organization, thought planning, and like having a place to really kind of organize it all. It's an app called Notion that my girlfriend recommended to me, and I'm still learning how to use it because it's like Google Docs on crack, and I love to use Google Docs and Google Drive, and she made this one, and it's literally the cutest thing ever. I'm so happy to have met someone who's even more type A than me, because this is our shared document. This is where we put everything that has to do with us and our friendship. And so like she's a photographer, and I need her to take new headshots of me because I just need like a photo of my face. And we want to have a coffee date soon. She's really into cooking, so we want to plan like a private dinner party in July. This is just like a rundown of places that we want to visit every time there's like a bar or a restaurant or a cafe in Paris and we want to go together. We want to start a trail running club. And so like that's just like a reminder of like the things that we need to do. Travel, I have to go visit for work. I have to go visit people. I really want her to come to Florida with me in August. I think it would be so cool because I'll be there, and she's gonna be flying to the US too. We really want to do a girls trip to Copenhagen because why not? I had the best time ever there last year. And like content ideas, if we ever want to share our own ideas, you can like even create like calendars, your own calendar, so that you guys can view them together. Like when I'm having dinner with her this Friday, for example, we put all of our wine tastings here because we both work in the wine industry. I'm doing a pop-up, my first pop-up next Thursday, the 29th. Like Notion, honestly, to share with someone and to have so much fun and be like super type A with someone else is like the best thing in the world. And so I like highly recommend Notion as well. Well, on my physical journals, I use my journals for all of my wine tastings. Every time I go to a wine tasting, I write those all down. It's something that I think helps me. You know, it's kind of like studying when you were in college. It's like the act of writing your notes, of course, helps you because you take them home with you and you study them. But the act of like writing down the things that you're studying and you're learning is like what helps you remember things. And so at wine tastings, writing in my journal is really helpful. I have another journal just for manifestations and affirmations. And I was not always someone who believed in that kind of stuff. It's not something that I really paid attention to. And I honestly firmly believe that it's real. Whether it's like the placebo effect or I have no idea. But it's really helped me because one, the manifestations, I'm able to write down on paper the things that I want in my life, say like I want a second baby by X amount of time, or I want to have this kind of job, I want to make X kind of money, I want to do this, that, and this, and that. Be very specific on your manifestations, and just writing them down is also like what, going back to like energy and bringing that into the world, it kind of like sounds cheesy if you're kind of like not really into those kinds of things, but I really believe in it. And I will say, I don't remember where, if it was like I think it was a podcast, but the person was saying that every night before you go to bed, within the last hour of when you fall asleep is kind of like subconsciously what leads the rest of your night. So for example, a very easy concept to understand is if you are anxious and you're stressed and you're overthinking about something, you're probably going to have a horrible night's sleep, right? And that goes along with saying that it's in your mind is racing, like you're thinking about all of these things. And instead of bringing all of those thoughts and all of that energy to you to bed, let's say you take that like last 30 minutes, or even that's like a long time, like let's say like 15 minutes, okay? Take 15 minutes right before you go to bed, you go in your journal and you either write manifestations or you read your manifestations or you read your affirmations, right? And affirmations are the things that are like very positive that you believe about yourself. It could be as simple as like, depending on what your struggles are, you say like, I am good enough, I'm beautiful enough, I'm smart, I'm capable, I'm this, I'm that, right? And so you reading those things or you writing them out right before you go to bed puts you in a completely different headspace, and it just allows you to calm yourself down and put those thoughts in your mind so that when you go to bed, hopefully you have a much better night's sleep. You're not having nightmares, you're not having, like night sweats related to stress and anxiety. And I think honestly that's really, really helped me a lot, is the manifestation. So affirmations are more like, for me personally, at night before I go to bed. That's kind of like a reminder to myself and a reflection on like my day and what happened. And let's say manifestations are more in the morning. I wake up, right? And I'm thinking about those like happy thoughts. I'm thinking about my life and what the rest of my day is going to be like, and how, whatever I do in this day is going to help achieve the goals that I want to achieve. And so writing in my journals is something that is really key in my life now. Okay, number 3 is chores, and mostly having a chore routine. Maybe you're like this and maybe you're not, but I am someone who, I have a lot of chores. And while most of them are like put onto myself, I will admit, because yes, I love to have things clean. I love to have a clean home. I very regularly, for example, like wash my bed sheets, my clothes as well. Like I even machine wash my rugs. I machine wash like everything. I vacuum, I mop, I do it all. And in order to keep up with the house, and in order to also live like the rest of my life, I mean, go to work, spend time with my family, give time to myself, in order for me to be able to feel like I can get it all done and it goes back to like organization, right? So we talked a little bit about like, I have Notion to help me organize my thoughts and everything, and my planning. Like I need my chores planned. And so throughout the week, I created like Monday through Friday, because I don't do them on the weekend. That's my kind of rule. The weekends, I'm with my family full time, because obviously my husband doesn't work on the weekends. My kid's home from school. And so I'm like, I told myself, okay, the weekends are the days that I'm not going to do any of those things. I'm not going to get any work done. I'm not going to do any cleaning, but I'm going to hold myself accountable to do them during the week. And so that means that I have, I printed out I literally made it on Google Sheets and Google Drive. and I have Monday through Friday, and I have every single day that I need to do laundry and what I need to do, right? So I made it what's most convenient for me. And if you choose to do this, you do it. Of course, it's most convenient for you. For me, we do the clothes laundry twice a week. I chose to do it on Monday and Thursday. That kind of already takes a little bit of time. So I do the bed sheets on Tuesday because I have my bed sheets, my kids' bed sheets. And then on Wednesday, I do the towels. And so that's what I do for laundry. And then, for example, like for the mopping and the vacuuming, I will vacuum every other day. I don't need that on my schedule because it's just something that I love to do. And I even got a new vacuum, which is like super nerdy. And I feel like that's kind of like the things that get you excited when you are in your 30s. But I got a new vacuum, so I'm like super happy to use it. Not something that I have to remind myself. But the mopping, I do it twice a week. And I always just, of course, make sure that I mop. Or rather, I make sure that I vacuum before I mop. But that, honestly, having my chores organized is what keeps me sane. Because at least I'm super forgetful and I will forget anything and everything. After I had the baby, my brain is permanent mom brain fog. It's a real thing. And I won't forget anything. If like I didn't have a schedule, I would like use a towel and I would say to myself, I can't remember when's the last time I washed this towel, right? But like because I have my schedule and because I hold myself accountable, I say, okay, on Wednesdays I wash the towels, and I just remember so that every single week they're cleaned, and myself included, my family, my kid, like they have clean towels, clean linens, clean clothes. I just know, and I can breathe. And honestly, the organization, you have to be organized. Like when you have a lot of moving parts and a lot of moving pieces, you have to be organized. There's no way about it. You know, I have a podcast, and I interviewed someone who's extremely successful, female, and has a child. And like I asked her out of the podcast, we were having a conversation. I was just like, how do you do it? Like, how do you manage all of it? And her answer was pretty like expected. It wasn't anything like new and you're like, wow, this is advice I'd never heard before. She was just like, you have to be efficient. You have to use your time wisely. You have to be organized. And when you hear that information, you're like, yeah, that just, I mean, it's true. There's no other way to do it. I mean, there's like, I would love more hours in the day, but there's just no more hours. But so just be efficient. And I think being organized with your time, being organized with your schedule is what helps me get everything done and feel sane. Okay, number 4, my morning and my night routine. You can imagine what this is going to be like, right? But like, think about it. This really matters because, for example, my morning routine, back to like my manifestations, back to how I'm like, you know, trying to put my thoughts together and prepare myself for success and set myself up for success and like for my day. My morning routine, so important, because like if you wake up in a crap mood, you know your day is going to be crap. Or if you wake up and things are like chaotic, you know that the rest of your day is going to feel chaotic and you're like never going to come down from that chaos and from that stress. And so for my morning routine, like non-negotiable is the first thing that I do is I wake up, I put on my workout clothes, because that's how I feel like, oh my God, okay, my day is starting. I'm putting on my workout clothes so that I can go to the gym, because it's all like tied back into each other. I brush my teeth, I wash my face. Those are like the first things that I do. Then I go and I chug water, and I chug as much water as possible. I just chug as much water as I can on an empty stomach, just because I want to rehydrate from the night before, and I want to get like my body going. And then I make breakfast. Very, like, these are all things that are just like very doable and like seem like so like, why, that I said like, why are you even telling me this? But I promise you it's because you probably are not doing it, and you think to yourself, you know, it sounds easy. It's easy to understand, and I get it. Like, it sounds easy, but it's hard to like implement these things. But these are the things that like you have to practice every single day. You have to say, these are my bare minimums. Like, this is where I draw the line. These are the things I need to get done in my life. I eat breakfast. Why? Because I love eating. I love breakfast. I feel like when I start my day out with a really good breakfast, I don't have those cravings the rest of the day. I'm not as irritable. I'm one of those people. If you also are one of those people, God bless you. And then for my nighttime routine, I have a routine, meaning like I tend to wind down. I go back into my journals. I read my affirmations. Maybe I write some new manifestations that I'm really thinking about. I have my magnesium tea. It's magnesium powder that I got from Whole Foods, and I always buy it when I come back to France. I drink that. I read a book. I try not to be on my phone. I'm getting better and better about it because I have tons of books that are like the kinds of books that I love to read at night. I love reference books. I love books with pictures. I'm not a novel nonfiction girly. I have best friends who are literally bookworms, and they read novels and nonfiction and fiction like the world is ending. There's not going to be any books in 6 months. But I swear, that's just like, it's not me. I love to read reference books, of course, mostly on like wine, spirits, traveling, like different parts of the world. I really love books on history. That's just like what I like. I read that at night. I get into bed. I also dim the lights. So, whatever works for you, whatever sets the mood for you to go to bed is what you should do. But having a routine, doing those same things are what work for me. Maybe they can work for you. And number 5, which is like the most simple one of them all. I mean, you have to make your bed. It's like something so small and almost seems pointless compared to the rest of your day. Like, something that seems so much more important is having a healthy breakfast, making sure you drink enough water every single day, working out, like all of those things, right? But like making your bed every single day. You know why? Because then you kind of like say to yourself, okay, like the laying down in my bed is done. We're not doing that anymore. We're getting up. We're getting along for the rest of our days. The bedroom is for sleeping and nothing else, right? And there's nothing better than coming home or being out of your bedroom all day, coming back, and the bed is made. And so when you go to bed, you take off the duvet cover and everything's all nice and smooth. And it just feels like, maybe you didn't wash your bed sheets that day, but it kind of feels like you did, right? Because the bed is all nice and made and it feels all fresh and clean, and because you put it all back together that morning. That just makes everything better. I swear to you, the few times a month, and I say few, I say maybe 3 times a month that I don't make my bed in the morning, I know and I remember specifically that night going to bed, I don't have a good night. There's something about coming back to my bed. It physically looks like a mess. It reminds me about my messy life, and I'm just I get into bed and I'm all grumpy, and I'm just and then it rolls over to the next day, right? Because everything is intertwined. All of that coexists, the good and the bad energy, the energy that you bring at night comes back with you for the morning. So honestly, making your bed. But that's basically it. 5 very simple habits that I have been integrating into my life for the past 6 months, since there's been so much change in my life. And I really feel like I'm on the right track. I really don't feel so overwhelmed, and I definitely feel stressed still because I have a lot going on, but I don't feel like it's overcoming me, and I don't feel like I can't handle it. And at least I put these measures in place in my life so that things can feel attainable, and then I can each at least break them down and realistically think okay, how do I get these things done? What do I do first? How do I organize myself? At least I have my routine, so I know how to incorporate something new that I'm bringing into my life, because I have my other routines in place, and it's just it works, man. So I hope you like this video. It's something that I wish that I thought about this much sooner, years ago, right after I had a baby in the midst of COVID, and things were truly a mess in my life. And I wish I kind of started these things and I thought about more about my life and how to take care of myself more, how to get myself and my life more organized so that I can be a good person and carry that on to my friends and my family. And there's no more to say. I just hope you like this video, and thanks for watching.